Hey everybody, welcome back to Creating Scenery from Microsoft Flight Simulator. We continue our airport build using the SDK menus, but I wanted to do some setup, get some things set up for ground textures and things like that I'm going to show you how to add into the sim. And this is a good time to show you how to set up one of those textures in the material library, and specifically using Krita. Okay, now Federico Pinati did a video of how to set those up in GIMP. Okay, if you're using Krita, you can do it as well. All right, so this is a Krita version of setting up your textures for the material library. Okay, if you use GIMP, I strongly recommend that you go to Federico Pinati's YouTube channel and watch his video on using GIMP. Okay, it may be easier. It's just different. I use Krita all the time, which is a Photoshop clone. All right, so this is the Krita workflow for creating a normal roughness map for your material library. Okay, now I need to explain, and I'm going to bring the documentation up from the SDK. All right, now setting up a normal roughness metal texture for a material library is different than setting up a normal roughness metal ambient occlusion for a texture like you use for an object in Blender. Okay, the big difference is the red channel. All right, so if I look at my notes, all right, if you want to compare when you're doing textures for like adding a normal map, not a normal map, but roughness and metallic, okay, those are separate images from the normal image for using in Blender. Okay, so the normal itself, which controls the XYZ of light, okay, is a separate image when you're using it as an object in Blender. Okay, not the case when you're using it for ground textures in the sim in your material library. All right, so if you remember, we're using RGB, and for doing your roughness, metallic, and ambient occlusion in Blender, the red channel is ambient occlusion, the green channel is roughness, and your blue channel is metallic. Okay, metallic being if it's all black, it means it's flat, there's no metallic, and if it's white, it's very shiny. Okay, however, when you are working on a ground texture, the RGB is totally different. Okay, right here, the red channel is the metalness. The green channel is the X component of the normal map. Okay, blue is the roughness. And then the alpha stores the Z normal. Okay, now why isn't there a Y normal in here? Because if you you don't have to do it, but the software will take the X normal and the Z normal, and it will calculate its Y. Okay, and that's pretty much what the documentation will tell you as well. So you only need the X and the Z, and they get mapped to specific channels. Okay, I hope you understand this. Now let's go into Krita. And I have Krita set up. I have not created the new image that's going to receive the information, but you need to do a few things in Krita to your source images to get those set up for your new image. Does that make sense? Probably not. That's just the way I roll, I guess. All right, so first of all, I'm going to go ahead and I'm in Krita, and I have a brick. It's a 4K image, and I have the normal, okay, and I also have the roughness. All right, so here's the roughness, and this is the normal map, okay. Brick itself doesn't have a metalness, all right, because it's not usually shiny. I mean, it can be if they buffed it out and all that kind of stuff, but we're not concerning ourselves with that right now. So you just need the normal map and the roughness in this exercise. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to File, and we're going to go to New, and we're going to create a new 4K blank image, and I'm going to make the background black. All right. And I just want one layer for, well, let's have it automatically create the 4 other layers that we're going to be with. There's always going to be 1, so if I wanted 4 more, you would say 5, so it creates that initial layer. So I'm going to create, and it's going to create a new image. All right, and over here you see that it creates the 5th layer. See that the 5th layer is the actual background. All right, but you can turn that off. And we're going to go to rename these layers. I'm going to call one R for red channel, and you can make it metallic. Doesn't matter the name, okay? You don't even have to rename them. So we're going to make a green channel. We're going to make a blue channel, and we are going to create an alpha channel. All right. Now, also on these layers, okay, if you notice that it has a red, green, blue channel for all of it. Okay, so we're going to right click the right channel, go to properties, and we're going to turn the red, we're going to turn the green and the blue off. And same with the green, we're going to turn everything off except for the green. I'm going to keep the alpha. That's a nuance. Don't worry about it. Okay, even though the alpha is going to be in its separate channel. Okay, so we're going to go to blue, we're going to click that, and we're going to turn off the green and the red channel. And then we're going to go to the alpha channel, and this one we're going to turn everything off except for the alpha. All right, so we have our new image set up to receive the data from the other images to create the normal roughness metallic image that's going to be used in the material library. Okay, so this is the non-saved one, is our receiving image, our new image that we're creating. All right, now we need to come over here to the normal map, and we need to split it out in its red, green, and blue channel. Now, if we come over here, we have one layer, right? But we also have multiple channels. Okay, we have a blue channel, a green channel, red channel, and an alpha channel. Okay, and these are already mapped. All right, now the red channel in a normal map is the X normals. The green, the blue channel is the Y normals, and the green channel is the Z normals. Okay, I know that you think red, green, and blue, it should be X, Y, Z, but it's really X, Z, Y. Okay, red, green, and blue. All right, and then it has an alpha channel, but we're not going to worry about the alpha channel of the normal map. All right, so what we need to do in Krita is, you notice that we have the channels, but in order to clip out each individual channel of its data, we need to separate the channels out into layers. Okay, how you do that in Krita is pretty easy. Okay, we're going to come over here to layers, and I'm going to Alt A, and I'm selecting everything. And you are going to come up here to image, and you're going to go to separate image, and you're going to use the current layer. That's the one that we're on right now that I have the Alt A on. We're going to create separate layers, and we're also going to split out the alpha channel itself. Okay, you don't really have to do this. Okay, you can discard the alpha channel if you want, because the alpha channel we're not going to be using from the normal map. So you can disregard that if you wanted to. And we're going to click OK. And then you'll notice over here, it added a red, green, and blue. Okay? Right here, red, green, and blue. But we still have our background, so we want to turn that off because that's not necessary anymore. All right? And then we are going to, for now, you'll see me select it again, but we're going to turn off our selection mask in Krita right now. All right, so now we have our normal map, and it's split out. Those channels now are split out into their individual layers. Okay, so the red, if we turn these off, and let's go ahead and organize these the way that we would normally read them. Red and green and blue, RGB. All right. So if I notice that on the top, this is the red channel of the normal. If I turn that off, this is the green channel of the normal. And if I turn this off, this is the Z. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is the blue channel of the normal. All right. But in terms of X, Y, Z, we would have to reorder these. You don't have to reorder them in this. It's just that I'm going to reorder them so you know the X, Z, Y. Okay, so if I take the blue channel and I move this up, now this is X, Z, Y. Okay, just remember that Z is the blue channel of the normal. All right. Pinati talks about that in his video too, and I'm not cherry picking off of his video. It's just that he did it in GIMP, and I'm going to show you the basic same process in Krita. All right. So we have a red, blue, and green. All right. So we're going to go to the red channel, and I'm going to turn off the blue and the green. You don't have to, but I'm going to turn off the, just so I have one on at a time. I'm going to go to the red, and this is the X component of the normal map. And I'm going to Alt A, which is copy everything. Whoops, let's try this again. Alt A, and then I'm going to Control C to copy those. And we're going to go over to our new image that we're constructing, our new comp image for materials. And I am going to come up here to the red layer right here, which is, I have already turned off all the other channels. Okay, I'm going to come up here to the highlight the red channel, and I'm going to go over here to edit, and I'm going to paste an active layer. So it brings over the X normals into the red channel. All right. Now the green channel. Oh, I just made a big old mistake. I need to undo this because I just did something wrong. Well, that's what you get for following me live, right? So we're going to undo that. I got the wrong one. The red channel in this is the metallic. All right, so we need to manipulate this here a little bit. So I'm going to go over here. I am going to create a box. Okay, selection box. Make sure my color is black. Go to my fill bucket, and I'm going to paint that black. That's the metallic layer. Okay, black is not metallic. White is fully metallic. Okay, sorry. The X normals do not go on the red, okay? They go on the green. All right, so we have our red channel taken care of. So let's go ahead and go over to our normal map. Make sure now you're on the red channel on the normal map. Sorry for the confusion. All right, we have our Control A, everything selected. We're going to Control C. I've already done that, but that's okay. We're just going to do it just in case. We are going to turn off the red channel, and I'm going to come over here to the green channel, which receives the X normals, okay? And we are going to edit, and we're going to paste that into the green channel. So this is the X normals, okay? Now, for the blue channel, let's turn off the green, and let's come over here to the blue channel. The blue channel in our new image is going to receive the roughness. So we're going to go over to, we're going to open up the roughness image that we have for our bricks. We're going to do a Control A, Control C to copy this image, come back to our new image, and we are going to edit, paste into the blue channel. Okay, so now we have a red channel, we have a green channel, and we have a blue channel. All right, so I'm going to turn off the red, green, and blue now. And now we're going to concentrate on the alpha channel of our new image. So you need to go back to the normal image and turn off the red channel. And remember, the Z normals are on the blue channel in the normal. So we're going to turn on the blue, highlight the blue, Control C, copy those, come into our new image on the alpha channel, and we are going to simply edit, paste in the active layer. Okay, now it turns black for now. That's just a little bit goofiness, but it will iron itself out. Okay, so we can turn that off, and then if we turn that back on and turn this on, turn this on, turn this on. All right, so I also want to deselect. All right, now you notice that the alpha has this, the alpha used it just a few seconds ago it was a black square. Well, because I had my selection mask on. So I turn that off and it turns into the Z normals. All right, so let's review what we have just now created. This is our new image that we're going to export out to a PNG. Remember, it has a red channel, a green channel, blue channel, and an alpha channel. The red is composed of the metalness. The green is composed of the X normals from our normal map. The blue channel is our roughness from our roughness image. And our alpha channel is the Z normals from our normal map. Okay, so each one is mapped to its RGBA. Okay, and remember, you have to make sure that you go to each individual channel and make sure that the red is only the red. If I turn off alpha here, okay, and then the green properties, turn off the alpha here. The blue channel properties, turn off the alpha, so that's only on blue, okay, and then the alpha channel is just the alpha. Okay, so we have the makings of our new material library texture normal map. All right, now it's just a process now of exporting this out. Okay, you're not going to save these two at all. Matter of fact, we can get rid of those if we want to, because we don't really need them anymore, and that way we don't inadvertently save over our original images, right? So here is our new image. And if you want to save this as a Krita so you can come back and work with it later, you can just do a save as, find a place that you want to copy that, save that to, and I'm going to call that Brick 19 Krita. Okay, now it's time to export it. So I'm going to go to File, go to Export, and I'm going to go into my Material Libraries Textures folder, and I'm going to save this as brick. You notice that I've already done it once before, so, but that's okay. I'm going to save it as Brick 19 NRM for normal roughness metal. Okay, so I'm going to overwrite something that already exists. So I'm going to save, and then accept the compression. Now we're going to go into Sim and add that in. Okay, we're in the sim. I have my airport loaded and loaded into the sim, and I went over to the material editor. Now we're going to add our new material into our project. Okay, so I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to New, and you're going to get this little board, this menu here. We're going to give our item a new name, and we're going to call this white brick, and then I'm going to change the surface type to match what I'm trying to replicate, which is brick. All right, now I have two versions of my brick. I have a beige colored brick for this texture, and I have a white. However, I didn't create a white. I am just using the ambient occlusion layer as the white, since it's white anyway, right? Okay, so we're going to click this black box. We're going to go into our package sources, model, material lib, textures folder. And I'm going to choose it's the ambient occlusion that you would use in Blender, okay? But it gives me a nice white base with some gray for the grout. Okay, so I'm going to use that as my white layer, so that's why I brought it in here. Now normally I would have just renamed it to white instead of ambient occlusion, but I also have a beige version that we're going to create, but we're working on the white, so I'm going to select the white ambient occlusion as my diffuse layer, or my albedo layer. Okay, we're going to open that, and that's going to open that in the box. Now, the second box is our normal roughness metal image that we just created in Krita. So I'm going to click that, and we called that Brick 19 NRM. Okay, so I'm going to select that, and I'm going to open that. Okay, and it takes a couple seconds for it to show up, but it'll get there, I hope. And if my image freezes in the lower left hand corner, don't worry about it. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and turn me off. All right, let's see, I want video. There we go. Now I'm gone. Good. All right, so over here our NRM shows up, and we simply save this, and it adds it to our material library. Okay, now, oh, I want to add another one, so I'm going to go to File, New, and we are going to call this beige brick. Okay, and I'm going to change the surface type to brick as well to match what I'm trying to replicate. And for the albedo, we're going to choose the brick's color right here. And for the normal roughness and metal, we're going to choose that same exact Brick 19 NRM, because it's exactly the same, just a different color. And we're going to open that up, and since it loaded it once, it loads it a lot faster. All right, and then we're going to hit save, and it adds beige brick to our material library. Okay, make sure that you're on your packages material library. All right, and we'll close out File, and now it's just a matter of coming over here to Objects, go to Scenery Objects Apron, and we're going to add a default. So I'm going to hit the left control key and hold that down while I'm clicking my left mouse button. And then when you get to the end, hit enter, and it creates an apron. Open up your material editor and your properties. Okay. And then over here for the surface, what we're going to do is we're going to grab the white brick and we're going to drop that onto our surface. And then I'll move the properties out of the way. Now, it doesn't look very impressive at the moment. And the other thing I like to do with some aprons is sometimes I keep ground merge on. I usually do ground merging for paints, you know, for paint layers, but not for actual ground. All right, it doesn't make too big of a difference in this case. All right, but if we zoom in, it doesn't look all that impressive. Okay, what gets the impression of 3D space is if we go to weather or time of day and we change the sun angle, notice that we're now getting some 3D effect. We're getting some shade here, getting some highlight here on the beveled ends of the brick or block, whichever you want to call it. That's where the normal map is coming into play. Okay, is it makes the light bounce. All right, now we can come over here to properties, open up our material again, and if I select this apron, and let's say we don't want the white brick, we want the beige, I can just select the beige brick, drop it on the surface, and basically it just changes the color. All right, and remember, you can always come over here and change the properties, so like the bricks are smaller, that kind of stuff. You can again rotate and offset the UVs and things like that. All right, so you can change the angle if you wanted to. Okay, that kind of stuff, and the color will kind of change because we've changed the orientation. All right, so that is how to create your normal roughness metal texture in Krita for adding to your material library. I hope this video helped for the workflow for Krita for creating one of these. And remember, textures in the model lib material libs are totally different than ones that you would use in your model lib for your objects in Blender. Okay, just remember those two different changes. So hey, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it, and give me a thumbs up, and share, comment. And if you guys feel inclined to support me on this channel in doing these videos, I would really appreciate your help by buymeacoffee.com/myphysicalworld, and I will see you guys on the next video. See you later.